I'm staying at Cedar Campground, which is a subdivision of Pine Campground, which is one of the main campgrounds at Navajo Lake State Park in New Mexico. This state park has got to be the biggest state park I have ever stayed in. It is massive. I think there is 3 main campgrounds, and then there's a lot of different primitive campgrounds. It's along the San Juan River. So let me tell you my story. When I first got here, I went to the visitor center. It's all closed up. It's the end of September. Nobody around. So I read the signs. One of them said, fill out this envelope, pick your spot, blah, 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 like you usually do. But then another spot said, you have to reserve online. Oh my, I hate doing that. So anyways, thankfully there's a phone number. So I was able to call them and talk with them. And I told them that I want to be by flush toilets. I'm done with vault toilets for a while. So they looked it up and figured out where I could go, and they put me into Crusher Hole. Well, when I got there, there was no flush toilets to be found. So I had to call them back up, and oh my, I talked to at least 4 different people, and they were all clueless. They didn't know which parks had flush toilets. So I did the research myself. Thankfully, there's internet here. And I was able to tell them, okay, Pine Campground has flush toilets. So finally, they were able to switch me over, and this is where I ended up. As you can tell, I'm very pleased. It's a beautiful spot, a beautiful view. I love the marina in the background, as you can see. Because I plan on staying in New Mexico for quite a while, I got the annual pass, and thankfully they prorate it. So for me, and this time of year, it costs $200 until the end of the year, because that's when it expires for everybody. And so every time I book a night, it's going to cost me $3.50. So normally, what I'm trying to say is this campground is normally $20 plus the service fee or whatever they charge. But because I bought the pass, it's free essentially. Not really. But anyways, I think the pass is a really, really good deal. So I'm happy about that. Let's go take a walk around this park now. It's pretty cool because this time of year there's only a couple other campers, so it's mainly desolate. And wow, it is so fun to be here essentially alone. So for some reason they have separate picnic areas within the campground. I'm not sure why they would do that. And then there's spots where you have to reserve. They have a water faucet. Sadly, their drinking water right now has a boil advisory. Thankfully, I have brought my own drinking water, but it's good to wash dishes and stuff. You can use that. And then this is the washrooms. And to be honest, this is really one of the nicer washrooms I've seen. It's really quite spacious, and there's a power outlet, so I'm able to charge my iPad. However, this is the most violent shower I have ever experienced in my life. It's just a solid stream, and it's the push button kind. So I'm not too fond about that, and the water was barely warm. There's spots in the middle of the campground like this, and then there's spots along the periphery of the campground. And as you can tell, you want to be on the periphery, because you get the view of Navajo Lake, and it is gorgeous. Wow, this person, 112, what a sweet spot this one is. Look at how open, and 2 picnic tables. Why do they rate? Anyways, wow, isn't this just spectacular? And see another picnic site. You'd think they'd want to fill it up with campers. My spot has a really lovely view too. However, it's on a slant, so it's not the best for sleeping. You feel like you're rolling out of the car. Just as an addendum, if you don't know, if you get the annual pass and you want power, then it's $10 extra per night plus the service fee. if you have a camper or something, then going in the primitive sections along the river is very lovely. I was there. I didn't take any video footage of it, unfortunately. And there's a dam around here as well, so it is quite a special spot. Would I come back here again? Yes, absolutely. The price is right. The surroundings are serene and peaceful. I enjoyed my time very well. And flush toilets, you can't beat that. On to my next campground.